What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Martial Arts Monday review. This week we're taking a look at The Leg Fighters, directed by Lee So-nam. This is an independent film from Hong Kong that was filmed in Taiwan. It's from 1980 and it runs a lean and mean 90 minutes long. This is an excellent release. We'll just talk about the physical release briefly, but I'll be talking about that as we start to cover this series on the channel. It's very exciting to sort of be getting in on this on the ground floor. This is from MVD, but this is part of something called the Pearl River Collection. Okay, so as you can see, this is 001. I didn't know that when I got these. I said, wow, the cover art's pretty good. So they've got new cover art. The second film is Dynamo, so I'll be reviewing that on the channel very shortly. So these are DVD and Blu-ray combos, which is very nice to have. And there's a lot of very passionate people working on these behind the scenes. This film features audio commentary by filmmaker, actor, and kung fu film fan Michael Worth. You know, over the years, he's tracked a lot of these actors and directors down and conducted interviews with them and even trained with them. I mean, it's really cool. So, and there's also an interview with Dan Halstead, who's a curator of a kung fu night at Portland's Hollywood Theater. So there's, you know, they talk about how a lot of these films have been saved and restored, and for MVD to be bringing them to us in this new collection is really exciting. Of course, you know, MVD is one of my go-to places to get films. You can actually get 88 films and Arrow releases through MVD and a whole host of others. So I typically go there, and I was so excited to see that they have a sort of a new line of films. It looks like they're going to focus on independent, lesser-known films, and I'm really excited about that. So yeah, let's get into the plot of this one, The Leg Fighters. This was an excellent film. With a title like The Leg Fighters, you're going to expect to see some really good kicking, and that's what you get. The known actor and martial artist in this, at least to me, was Dorian Tan. He plays an instructor. Dorian Tan did an excellent job in this. Acting-wise, it was really quite good, to be honest with you. I mean, he does a great job playing the master. He's very taciturn, tough, but, you know, compassionate. He's kind of regretful that a match that he had in the beginning of the film in the past ended with someone's death, but really nothing else he could do about it, and you have to watch to find out what I'm talking about. And but he does what has to be done, and it's a really good role, and yet he does he's kind of the protagonist, but there's lots of room for other people in this movie to shine, and that includes this character of Phoenix, played by Hua Quan Lee. She was essentially, to me, in this film, a revelation. I was like, where has this actress been all my kung fu watching life? I mean, she was excellent. In fact, after looking her up on IMDb, I went ahead and watched a movie called The Butterfly Murders, directed by Choi Hark, because she was in it. And, you know, she has a small role in that, but she was quite good. So I'm going to have to definitely check out some more of her work. But she plays, I'll paraphrase this, she plays a rebellious young student in martial arts. So when her father brings in a new kung fu instructor, that's Dorian Tan, she will find herself having to shape up quickly as a deadly master approaches. And that's played by Peng Kang, who also does some of the choreography. He plays a character who's looking for revenge because Dorian Tan had to take the life of somebody close to him in the beginning of the film. And it sets new standards in high-kicking choreography with the knowledgeable action eye of Lee So-nam. So very good direction all around by Lee So-nam. Really just a very visually pleasing film to watch. And boy, I mean, Hua Quan Lee is something to look at in this film. She's funny. She's kind of charming. She's she wears these like absolutely gorgeous dresses. Standing next to Dorian Tan, I don't know if he was a little shorter than I thought or she's very tall, but she does a fantastic job in this film. I mean, this is called The Leg Fighters. So it delivers in that department and then some. You know, in the beginning of the film, they talk about all the different leg techniques. And there's one, I know I've seen it described as a scorpion kick, like a behind the head kick. The extension that she and the other actors get on these kicks is insane. I'm like, how do they do that? I don't, you know, I can't. You're talking about a guy who can't touch his toes, so, you know. That's me, all right? I just started a stretching routine, but, ooh, man, it's rough going so far. Anyway, it's just, you know, it's just, when a film like this brings something new to the table, I mean, I think it's really cool, because I've seen a lot of martial arts films, but she is something else in this. And the training sequences are fantastic. The instructor that they have before the Dorian Tan character comes in is pretty hilarious. He's got the ropes tied to her, and she has a servant, okay, who's kind of like the comic relief guy. He's got the face for it. He's nevertheless very good at kung fu. He's like training along with her. He's got her leg tied behind her back, and he's sitting in a chair, drinking some tea with his pipe, and he's just yanking this rope down and pulling her leg, which is behind her, mind you, over her head. And then he comes in, and I guess they have this arrangement that they can come in and attack the master at any time. That kind of thing. The thing that kind of set up that was spoofed hilariously in the Pink Panther movies. But then he tangles up the servant in the rope, and now they're kind of pulling on each other, and she's saying, "Hey, stop it!" And she pulls down, and then his leg gets shot up in the air, and then the rope goes around his neck, and he's making these faces, and then meanwhile the master is like, he has a knife, and he cuts the guy's belt, and his pants fall down, and this is almost like something out of the Marx Brothers. It's a great sort of set piece, sight gag training sequence, and you really get the sense that after you go through that kind of training, where you're being physically stretched, that you're going to be able to do some pretty impressive kicks. So the training really ties into the action sequences quite well. So there's a series of sort of henchmen. There's the one sort of henchman has, or lower boss, I guess, has these henchmen. There's 4 of them. One of them is like Ding Dong, and the other one is Dong Dong or something like that. Now, I should say, I watched the dubbed version first. Okay, so the dubbed version has even more of a comedic tone to it than the subtitled because of the voices that they chose. So they're very goofy. They, nevertheless, they can fight. They link arms and spin each other around and like throw each other. It's pretty cool. The one guy's voice, I guess they gave him like a Lenny from Mice and Men, kind of a, "Gee, George," like a really dopey kind of a voice. And he does kind of make kind of goofy grunting noises as he's fighting too. But it's not that bad. It's not as annoying as that kid from Kung Fu Superman. Oh boy. And then the other guy's voice, I always think it's funny when they have voice actors, some of which are American and some are Australian and some are from Great Britain. The one guy's voice sounds kind of like Michael Palin's voice in Monty Python and the Holy Grail when he's doing like the high-pitched voice, "Bring me the grenade of Antioch," kind of like whatever that is, the Holy Hand Grenade. It's very high-pitched and it's pretty funny. And, the whole thing is really good. They go into like the 3 different kicking techniques, one of which is like a strangulation thing with the foot up against the throat. And you see a lot of things in here, in the training and in the fights, that almost make you wince. This is very effective that way. It's not just the standard fight scenes. There's another sort of ground fighting technique, whether they tie it into like wrestling, where they're like scissoring their legs back and forth and trapping your legs and tripping you and bringing you down and sort of using the kicks to get a takedown. It's pretty interesting, actually, very interesting. So yeah, I highly recommend this film and this series here, the Pearl River Collection. Go to the MVD website, check it out if you're a fan. It seems to me they're really gonna bring some of the lesser known independent films to our attention. This was excellent. I had a great time with this. I watched it twice in a week and watched all the special features, so that says a lot right there. So I got number 2 in the series, Dynamo, coming up. I've got many other films from 88, from Arrow, etc., coming up for Martial Arts Monday. Do me a favor, check your notifications. I don't know if everyone's getting a notification when a new video drops, so if you can check that and come back next Monday for more Martial Arts Monday action, that would be great. Thanks a lot, everybody. As always, in the comments, let me know if you've seen this. Let me know your thoughts. So I'm going to go look up some more Hua Quan Lee films, for sure. All right, guys. See you next time. Thanks.